What's up? Welcome back to another video. I'm Jamie Michelle, master mindset coach and energy expert, and I'm here for another video that you requested about this whole coronavirus thing. This is legitimately, I'm going to be straight up with you, this is the third time I've gone to record this video because it is a very difficult topic for me to cover. So what I'm going to talk about in this video, to the best of my ability, is the effects that this quarantine is having on us and our economy. Not necessarily, I don't want to focus on the implications and like the consequences too much, because I really am here to instill you with positivity, with feelings of inspiration and feeling good and knowing that you are empowered to make a change, to really help us all come out of this faster. Because I could sit here, and this is what I was doing in the other attempts of recording this. I could sit here for hours and tell you why this quarantine is it's a huge mistake. And that's a bold statement. And I don't want to focus too much on that. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, only just so that you have a little bit of context. But then I'm going to go into what we can all do together. We have to be in this together, and we all are. Like, it's so amazing. The one thing, there are many good things that are coming of this time, this event, whatever, this global crisis, whatever you may call it. There are so many blessings that are coming from it, and one of those is how much more like united we all feel, like we're all in this together kind of thing. And if you don't feel united, we need to figure out why and get you to a place where you do feel like you're supported and that you are safe and protected and all the things. I made a video on Monday about this coronavirus, and I think it's called I Can't Stop Thinking About It. I highly advise that you watch that video before you watch this one, only because there are some things that I talk about in that video that are going to be, if you don't understand them, it might, like, this video might not make sense. So this is kind of like a part two-er, and I'm really glad I made that video first. So why do I think that the quarantine is a huge mistake? A lot of reasons, but I'm just going to keep it high level so that I don't spend too much time talking about it. This is a huge overreaction, a ginormous overreaction by the government trying to control something that is ultimately out of their control. They're trying to use force to stop something that clearly is. This is why it's like so hard for me to make this video, because my mind's already being like, but don't forget about the people who are suffering. Because I know that there are people that are suffering, that this is really real for them. Really, if you are affected by this, please know that I'm not being like irresponsible or insensitive. I have so much love for you, and I'm sending you so many, healing and loving vibes and all the light that I possibly can. I don't want you to feel in pain. I like, that is my core reason for existence, is to help you shift out of pain and into a state of pure joy and bliss and happiness and health. Like, that is my purpose on this earth. So whatever I say in this video, I don't script things. I don't have an outline in front of me. I just say what I feel really needs to be said, and it just comes to me and I say it. And so I want you to understand that, like, it's not that I don't understand what's going on that level. It's just that in terms of the grand scheme of like the big picture, this quarantine is causing so much more damage, so much more health issues than the actual virus itself. So the only thing I'm going to say about this, and then I'll get into the positive stuff. The only thing I'm going to say about this is, and I talk about this a little bit in the video on Monday, which is why I want you to watch that video before watching this one. The only thing I want to say is that the reason that it seems like this thing is so like contagious and so powerful, one, it's because the media is portraying it to be something that it's not. Two, it's not just the virus that's causing people to get so sick and to pass away if unfortunately they do. It's not the virus alone, okay? It's the virus coupled with what that person was believing to be true about themselves, what their financial situation might have been, what they were currently afraid of, what was going on in their lives, what other health things that they may have had, other health, what is the word? Why can't I think of words? Problems or, chronic illnesses or whatever the state of their health was before contracting that virus. It's not just the virus that's killing. It's the virus alone only is the damage that the virus alone on its own is doing is microscopic. It's like a pinpoint of a needle on an entire canvas of paper. It's so insignificant, but that is all that anyone's focusing on, and that's all that the media is telling us about. And every freaking minute I'm getting an update on the death toll and blah 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 blah. It's not a coincidence that the death toll is rising when we're in quarantine. It's not. Because again, it's not just the virus, it's what we're believing to be true. This quarantine is making us all feel like shit. I'm just gonna be real with you. We are bored out of our minds. We are I'm saying this as a general, humanity, all Americans and people in the world, worried about the economy, losing money, not working, feeling purposeless. And when that happens, death rates always go up, not because of some virus, not because of some cold, not because of some external force, but because of whatever the person is dealing with. They might decide to end it themselves. And I hate to say it, suicide rates always increase when the economy is spiraling down. It's not just the virus. I need you to understand that. And I just want you to know, I have so much love for you that I would never, ever, ever say something if I didn't full-heartedly believe it to be true. And I want you to make your own decisions with whatever I'm saying today. Please, 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 you are the only one that can choose to believe whatever you're going to believe. Whatever I say, you can have an open mind or you can not accept it and just go on about your life. But if you want to feel better about the situation and do something about it, I just ask that you keep your mind open and be willing to accept a radical new belief that you may have never even it may be totally out of your comfort zone. Just be willing, just have an open mind and be curious about the things that I'm saying. So that's all I'm going to say about the negative effects of the quarantine. Obviously it's having an impact on the businesses and everything else like that. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not here to tell you numbers and statistics and all that stuff. I'm here to motivate, inspire, uplift, and support you. And to get us all out of this faster. We all want to get back to our normal lives. So what can we do? How can we do that together? We can all shift our mindset again to believe that there is absolutely nothing wrong in the world. And that might sound ridiculous. It might sound insensitive. You're going to want to kick me in the face. You're going to want to be like, how can you say that when people are suffering and this is so terrible, blah, blah, blah. The reason why people are still in suffering and this is so terrible is exactly because of that. It's exactly why. I can't say it enough that whatever we're saying, whatever we're focusing on is making that thing more real. So if I'm all for, advocating for people who are in suffering and in pain, but don't make that the focus. Advocate for their health. Don't focus on what's so freaking terrible. Focus on them, hold the vision in your mind of that person, whoever it might be, or everyone that's suffering, of them being in perfect health and vibrating and living their lives. Envision all of humanity, everyone in the world, going back to work, living their lives as if it were a normal day, as if nothing was wrong. It's not irresponsible. It's not selfish. It is the most selfless thing you can do. By believing, and here's the thing is you have to believe it. You have to believe that that is the truth. And you have to be unmoving, like be so steadfast and unwilling to budge on what you're focusing on and believing to be true, as if it were true right now in this moment. I've said all the things that I've kind of said that explain this before, but like the only moment that we have is this one right now. So whatever you're thinking about is going to be what you're experiencing. You know, it's so interesting when we're sitting with ourselves, and if we're feeling like shit and we don't do anything about it, and we're just like sitting there and we're feeling awful and we're letting ourselves feel awful, we don't realize that it's our choice in that moment to be feeling that way. And that we have the power in our being. You have the power to shift into a state of happiness in that moment. Like, you don't have to feel like shit all the time. You're not supposed to. It's not normal. You can actually decide to feel good in any moment, every single day. Like, every single moment you have a choice to either choose to be wallowing in self-pity and feeling sorry for yourself and talking about how shitty this all is and how bad things are and how you don't know how things are going to get better. Or you can shift and say, you know, thank God I'm healthy. I'm so happy that I'm where I'm at. I'm like you can just shift into happiness, knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be. You are doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. You're living your life on purpose. And if you don't feel that way, do something about it. You have the power. So applying this to this quarantine thing, like, we're all kind of cooped up, right? We're all in our own homes, not going out unless it's like a life or death kind of situation, pretty much. At least in PA, that's the mandated law right now. We're all feeling like we're going insane. And that is really, really, really not helping. It's not. The only way to make this go away faster is to envision everything going exactly the way that you would like it to be going. Like, if none of this was real, because it's not, it's all an illusion. Watch my last video. If none of this was real, how would you be living your life? And then go a step further, like, always, always, always live from the end that you want to be experiencing. Don't live as if you're like working towards it. Live from the end. Not think from the end, not like imagine from the end. Live. Obviously imagine it and see it happen in your minds, but live as if that whatever you wanted was real right now in this moment. That is the secret. But you have to believe that it's possible. So putting this into context, like, if there was nothing going on, if none of us were quarantined, if we were all going about our daily lives, what would you be doing and how would you be feeling? Just the idea of like this going away should make you feel so freaking happy and like excited, like, wow, I can get back to my life. This might be the biggest blessing that's ever happened to you. Because here's the thing is, like, at least while there's like really not much for us to do, we can reflect on what our priorities are right now. And if you aren't living the life that you want to be living, this is your golden opportunity. This is God being like, hey, listen, I'm going to stop everything right now so you can figure out what you want and go after it. Instead of living this life that you hate, instead of going to the job that you complain about every day, or being in this relationship that you know that you're not meant to be in, or like treating your body and like hating your body, like whatever it is, if you are experiencing anything that you are not absolutely obsessed with and in love with and like excited about in your life, now is your time to change it. Like, this is literally probably in our lifetimes the only time that we're going to have to be able to do this. And if you commit to this, and if you change your mindset and you change your state of energy, your energetic state, and what you believe to be true about yourself and others, because we can do this for ourselves, we can do this for other people, we can do it for each other. We're going to do this together. My vision for you is to live the life of your dreams. It's why I'm doing this video. It's why I wake up every single day. It's like the only thing that motivates me. I'm not motivated by money. I'm not motivated by accolades and recognition and followers, and that shit means nothing to me. I'm motivated by you changing your life and living the life of your dreams. Like, that sets me on fire. Like, I can't stand the thought of you going one more day feeling like you have nothing to live for, feeling like this is like your life sucks, or you hate your body, or I can't, like, I won't ever be the athlete that I want to become. Like, yes, you can, you will, but you have to believe it. And that's exactly what I'm suggesting, that you take this time that has been given to you to figure out what it is that you want and go after it. Like, believe that it's possible. And I talk about this in the Expert Secrets to Transformation video, so I'm not going to talk about that too much anymore. You can go watch that video. But just knowing that this quarantining thing, while I am not a supporter of it, I think it's doing way more harm than good. If we can all shift into the knowing that, okay, some good is going to come from this, and now is my chance to really intentionally live my life every single day in a way that makes me feel good. If every single one of us does that and stops focusing on like what's out there and what's happening and all of the negativity and what's going on in the news, like, it's so blown out of proportion. It's not even funny. If there is any one thing that you do today that you take from this video, please let it be this: turn off the goddamn news. Turn it off. Like, shut it down and promise me that you're not going to turn it back on ever. Ever. Because that shit, think about any time you watch the news. What do you say to yourself when you watch the news? Oh my God, this world's going to shit. Man, things are terrible. This is a terrible world. Man, I didn't realize things were so bad. That is what the news does to you in your energetic state. And if you're vibrating at that level, if you are like taking all that in and saying all that shit, you're never going to be able to live the life that you want. You're going to experience all that shit that you're focusing on. So I have so many opinions about this. And again, this is the third attempt at me making this video without it being super, super controversial. And so I just want you to understand that, yes, there is going to be massive damage control that the government's going to have to do because of this, like, shutting everything down. There's going to but I don't want you to focus on that. I want you to focus on what good is going to come of this. And I want you to focus on what you would be doing if none of this were real, if there was no quarantine, if there was no coronavirus and everything was just as normal. How would you be living? Like, what would you do every day? If you're being forced to work from home and you're used to going into the office every day, you should still be getting up at the time that you would be waking up to go into the office, showering, getting ready, putting your makeup on, putting your like work clothes on, and acting as if you're going into the office. You should be, instead of like working from sweatpants and being like, wow, like this is really just, wishing things were different. Because when we're wishing things were different, we're fighting what's real, and we can't transform until we accept what's real. We can't. What we can do is make the best of a shitty situation by doing everything in our power to stay focused and living from the desired result, which is making all this go away. So for example, for me, not much has changed in my life, to be honest with you. And that's intention. That's like an intention. The only thing is my circadian rhythms are just a little bit off. Like, I'm going to bed I'm not tired until 3 a.m. and I'm waking up at 10. That's not ideal. I'm kind of on West Coast time, and I don't know why my body's trying to get me on West Coast time. It's weird. I'm not really sure what it's about. Anyways, that's like the only difference in my life. I do everything the same as I did before. I don't obviously like go out as often because we can't, but I do cultivate the experience of what going out into the world would like be like for me internally, you know? So connect with people. I said this before, I'm going to keep saying it. Connect with the people that you would see on a daily basis every single day, no matter what. Do FaceTimes, do like group Zoom calls, with your colleagues or with your family, with your friends, do whatever you need to do to stay connected, to make you feel like nothing has changed. Sure, like the mode of communication might be a little bit different. You're not in person, you're not having lunch, but you can still have lunch and like talk to each other like this. Imagine that I was eating a salad or something right now. We're having lunch together. We're having, drinks. If I had a glass of wine, we can still have those connections, even if we're not physically present. In our minds, we can create the scenario, the environment that we want to be in, and just pretend, like act as if. That is the key to everything. Living from the end. Instead of feeling like a victim, like there's nothing you can do about this, know that you are so powerful. And if we all did this, this would guaranteed 100% with absolute certainty go away. And we would all be back to living our normal lives and smiling and laughing and dancing in the streets. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. If you're worried about the economy, if you're worried about business, if you're worried about your health, if you're worried, stress, this sucks, we're going to be stuck here for a long time. And if you've been saying that to yourself before the quarantine, now is your golden opportunity to be like, wait, this, like, I still feel like the same. If you feel not great, if you feel like crap and like that you don't absolutely love everything about your life, figure out what it is that you hate about it and change it. Change it. Change your mind. That's all that this comes down to is, we always have a choice on what version of ourselves we're going to be, what we're going to focus on, who we're going to show up as. Am I going to show up today as the person as the version of me that has all that I want, that goes to the office, that is in the position that I want to be in, that is, playing in the NHL or if that's your aspiration. If you're like, obviously sports have completely shut down in my whole life. I honestly do feel like a little bit purposeless because I have nothing to like look at and watch, but I can do this. I can help you be the best version of you. And I can apply this knowledge and everything that I'm learning to my athletes when sports are up and running again. Because we're all, at the end of the day, we're all human. So we're all having the same experience. So it really doesn't freaking matter like who I'm serving or how I'm like putting this information into context for you. Whether you go to the office every day, whether you go to the rink or the field or the facility every day, whether you work from home every day, I don't care what it is. Whatever you desire, whatever you actually want for yourself, the only way that you will ever get it and be able to live it is if you believe that you already have it. And that sounds like an oxymoron and all this stuff, but truly, if you don't believe it's possible, if you don't believe that you can have that and that you actually are already that person and you're just like on your way, and live as if you already had it, like it's a certain fact, like that's how you create the life of your dreams right there. So in this quarantine, then we can all, like, this is the most beautiful time that we all have. While I'm not a supporter of it, I'm not a fan of this whole thing, I will agree that this is the best time on this planet right now to reevaluate everything in your life. Like literally go through the areas of your life, what you do for a living, your relationships, your physical health, your mental health, your joy for life, like what you do for fun, your friends, your hobbies, like evaluate every area of your life, your finances, obviously, and see like which areas you're not happy with, which areas make you feel like crap. And then shift them. Like work intentionally on shifting the beliefs that you are telling yourself about yourself and that part of your life. So this is starting to go into a little bit of like the transformational work that I do. So I just want to like keep it kind of neat and tidy and focused on the quarantine. This time we can all benefit from, and we all are benefiting from it. To end it sooner, we need to focus on just living our lives as if it were normal. Stop watching the news. Stop feeding this thing, and acknowledge that you alone have the power to start bringing us all out of this. Like one person believing that this is like over and you're living your normal life and you're not affected by anything because it's not real, that can counteract like hundreds of thousands of people who believe otherwise. It's going to take a collective effort. One person can't do this alone, but if we all come together and focus on what we want, on a booming economy, on businesses thriving, on people going out and, mingling and spending time together and being social and hugging and, enjoying meals together out at restaurants, envision that, hold that vision. If we can all do that and see it happening now, this will all come to an end. I absolutely guarantee it. It's going to take more than one of us though. So I hope that this was somewhat helpful for you. Making this video was really difficult for me. And I'm taking a huge risk and even putting it out there for you. The only reason I'm doing it is because I love you so much and I want you to be empowered with the truth. And I know that this is a little bit controversial. Some of the things that I've said in this video, I'm not even sure what I said, but I know that I probably said some controversial things. And I don't want you to think that I'm being insensitive to what's happening. And I don't want you to think that I'm being ignorant and that I'm not paying attention to it because, I'm not paying attention to it, but I'm not insensitive. I have so much compassion. I have so much love and really just I just want this world to know that we do not have to be in the state of pain and suffering. But I alone don't have enough conscious power to shift everyone in the world's mindset, but I can hold that vision. And if we all do it together, then we will literally be unstoppable. In order to do this, you have to know exactly who you are. You have to know that you are way more powerful than you give yourself credit for. You are way more worthy and so much more than you think you are. You have to really actually know that. You have to know that you have a purpose in this life. You have to know that you are a child of God, that you are connected. You are an expression of God. You are God embodied, we all are. We all are. That's what Jesus wanted us all to know. And so knowing that fact alone should give you a little bit of confidence to be able to kind of start shifting this whole thing with me. We're in this together. I'm here for you in any way. If there are any questions that you have, if there's anything else that you want more explanation on, or if there's something that I didn't quite explain in fuller detail that you want more information on, please reach out to me. Send me a DM. Let me know what you want to know. Let me know what your questions are. Email me. Everything is down in the notes in the description below this video and how you can get in contact with me. I'm most active on Instagram. My handle is at Jamie Michelle, JAMIE MICHE 11E, the number 11 instead of the double L's. Super easy to remember. Connect with me there. I'm always hanging out over there. I'm always on stories. I am only here to help you. That is my only purpose in this life. And so if there's anything that I can do for you, I want you to ask me, let's change this whole thing together. We're in this together and it is ending and there is a light and spring is coming. Winter doesn't last forever. But while we're here, you may as well make the most of it and figure out what it is about your life that you're not absolutely in love with and change it to be something that you are absolutely in love with. Now's the time for you to really, really dig in and transform everything about you. And if you want to know how to do that, watch my video on Expert Secrets to Transformation. And I'm sure I'll have plenty more of those coming your way. This is the last video on the coronavirus, because I cannot do it anymore. It's just, this topic makes me feel so icky, and I have to do a lot of energetic shifting after doing these videos on this, on just when it's the main topic of conversation, when it's the main subject of the video. So yeah, let me know what you want to see other than this. And I will talk to you very soon. All is well. All is well. Focus on what you want. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm so grateful for you. Let me know if you like this video by leaving a thumbs up and subscribing. I feel so weird saying that. This is such a new world to me. Anything is possible. All right.